All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about cleaning up your section cuts. Um, Whenever you make a 2D drawing using the clipping plane, um, it, it doesn't always give you the cleanest section cut, so you just spend just a little bit of time just cleaning it up. So it'll give you something like this, and just spend a little bit of time just clean it up to make it look something like this. So let's just try this really quick. I'm gonna just um, make an object. I'll just use the same one we've been using. The truncated pyramid. Number of sides, I'm going to leave it at 5. I'm going to have ortho turned on. I'll do 20. I'll do the height at 20. And then I will do the last part at 5. Go to shaded mode. And then I'll keep the, I'll just use the same shell command. I'll do a thickness, I'll leave it at 3, that's fine. I want to give this bottom part, so I'm going to do extrude curve. I'm going to select the 5 lines across the bottom. Make sure you have solid equals yes turned on, and I'll do 2 for now. That's fine. And then I'm just going to do a clipping plane. And I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. And just move it a little bit just so I can get an interesting section cut. Yeah, that should work. Then I want to do a section cut from one of my side views. So the one that will probably work best is probably the front view, I believe. Yeah. So I'm going to do this from the front view, so I need to make sure my clipping plane is turned on in the front view to make sure it's actually working. I'm going to go to shaded. I can see that it's not working just yet, so I select my clipping plane, go to my properties for the clipping plane, and make sure I have front checked. So now I can see the section cut. I'm going to select all of that and say make 2D. Front, maintain source layer, clipping plane, intersections, and OK. And I can see that it made my drawing back here. If for any reason, whenever you're making your drawing and you don't see your drawing, just pay attention to your clipping plane. Because, for example, if our clipping plane was flipped, oh, sorry, not flipped. If our clipping plane was turned on, I believe, yeah, if it was flipped and turned on in the top view, our drawing would not appear. It's technically there, but it's just not showing up because we have our clipping plane turned on. So again, just be aware that if you do a Make 2D drawing and you don't see your drawing actually appear, it's probably because your clipping plane is actually turning it off. So just be aware of that. And if you need to, you can always just delete your clipping plane, and it should show up again. Your drawing should show up. All right, so let's very quickly let's fix this. I'm just going to make a copy of this just so you can see the before and after. Okay, I'm going to go to my layers on the actual the part that's actually being cut through, the actual section cut, I'm going to make sure that these curves, I'm going to make sure that these are red. So I'm going to double click that box, hit red. All right, so then where it's actually cutting through the section, those are now red. I'm going to turn the rest of this off. And I'm just going to use trim. And just trim the parts that I don't need. Essentially, whenever you're cutting a section, anything inside that section cut, you technically don't see. So all those lines that are running inside a section cut line, you really do not see them. So it's just a clean cut all the way through. And the same is true for any other curves. So the reason why I changed this layer to red, it just makes it easier to see what's inside. So again, all of these curves will essentially just be deleted because we don't really see them because they're being cut through with the section. Some really small ones up here. Make sure you get those. And then these lines, I don't see either. Delete that one, and I have to trim this one. Okay. So there, that gives me a much cleaner section cut as opposed to having it looking like this one. And then if I wanted to, I can just take one extra step. I'm going to turn off these lines. I'm going to do a hatch. I'm going to do a solid hatch. And I'm just going to put that hatch in a different layer. So if I were to take this into Illustrator, I would already have my hatch, and as well as my my section cut layers, and then everything else that falls behind. But again, this is just a much cleaner way of presenting your section cuts as opposed to the original drawing that it gives you.